As I look at my son, I started to realize that, man, I'm getting older, man. I'm in my 40s now. It's a lot different. I didn't realize when you turn 40, your doctor got all handsy with you. I didn't know that was the situation. I went to my physical. I thought it was time to go home. My doctor started putting on this glove. Told me to put my elbows on the table. I blacked out. I woke up in the parking lot just crying. I text my wife. I said, I think I just got violated. That's what I think. For 40 years, nobody been concerned about anything going on back there. I don't even go back there like that, man. And I'm like, it's 2019. This is the best medical technology that we have to offer people right here. Y'all, we take pictures with our phone, man. This is the best we can do. Somebody finger? This is the best we got. We can't put our heads together to come up with nothing better than this, huh? I was doing that joke one night. Somebody yelled out, well, wait till you turn 50. I said, oh my God, what happens when you turn 50? And I found out. It's something called a colonoscopy. They recommend that you get that at age 50. If you're African American, they recommend you get it at 45. Since I'm extra black, I got it at 42. They just brought me. They just rolled me right in there. I was like, I got some time, doc. He was like, no, you don't. Mm-mm. No, you don't. And I was concerned, man. I wasn't ready for that. I was just like, wait a minute, sir. I need an orientation or something. We just can't just do this. And I got to pay for this? What's going on? This is not something I want. And so I had to, go through the process, right? So you got to, it's a day. You can't eat solid food, You got to eat clear food. Well, no, you can't eat anything. You got to drink drinks, clear drinks, and like Jell-O and stuff that, is clear. And I was looking at the little sheet, and it had all the information. But on one of the bullet points was to take some lotion and put back there to help when you go, for the discomfort, that, put that back there. I'm a man, I'm like I'm a man, man. I don't put no lotion. I don't put no back there. No, no. I put lotion on my hands, my face. That's all I put the lotion on. Yo, after about 3 trips to the bathroom, though, I was like, we ain't got no lip gloss, no shortening, something. Is there not a balm in Gilead? This is very uncomfortable. They changed it, though. They changed it. They provided some new solution that you got to drink. So the old school, it was very thick. It wasn't very tasteful. Now they got some sparkly raspberry. It's very delicious. It's very delicious. It was so good, I forgot why I was even drinking it. I thought it was a treat for not having food all day. But it didn't take long for me to remember. It's one of those things where you think you got time. You ain't got no time. Now, after you drink that, don't run any errands. Don't leave the house. Just stay in your bedroom. That's probably the best course of action right there. So I'm spared, but I'm clear. It's all good. Men, you got to get checked out. You got to go. Yes, please. Go get checked out. And so I went the next day to have the actual thing. And it wasn't as bad as I thought, because they give you that propofol. That's the Michael Jackson drug. That's where you don't remember anything. You go right out, But it was a little strange, because I was laying in there on the gurney, but you don't have on any pants, right? You just there and you. And it's people, and this is their job. They do this every day. They in here, and you up there, you're vulnerable. I've never been in this position. And they having conversations like it's just another day. Like, what you doing this weekend? I'm like, what? This weekend? No, ma'am. This is very uncomfortable for me. And they can see the anxiety on my face, and they're like, oh, Mr. Goodwin, just relax. just act as if you taking a nap. I was like, I don't know how you nap, but there's some garments in that equation when I nap. So I'm laying there, I'm very, very self-conscious, and I see the doctor. He comes in with smiling. I'm like, why is he smiling? It's not type of smiling type of thing. So he comes in, he says, Mr. Goodwin, what song would you like to hear before we put you on? I said, what? We got a soundtrack for this right here? I think that's a little excessive, Doc. So I thought about it. I said, well, let me get that Rick James, Give It To Me, Baby. That'll be... that'd be quite appropriate.
I went to the merch room, and I don't think they didn't have their starters in this night. They had the backups, and like the third string, not even like the practice squad. That's what they had in. So I sat in the waiting room for at least 2 hours. This one woman, she was clipping her toenails. They were playing cards. I mean, it was like, what is happening in the emergency room? So finally, I made it back to the back. And I could tell that the doctor I was talking, he didn't know much. You could just, you ever met a person, you like, man, this ain't the guy. Because he kept kind of like doing this. He was like, he had to use the bathroom. He just kind of moving. And he was like, where does it hurt? And then he would touch my leg like it hurt him. He was like, ooh, and he was, ooh. I said, oh, it's not good. He did not finish his residency. I don't know what he's doing in here. So I'm doing the stuff, and he kept leaving the room. So he would leave, like he'd look, ooh, and he'd leave. And he'd be gone for like 10 minutes, and he would come back. Then he would say a few things. He'd look at it, ooh, and he'd leave again. So he came back finally, and he said, good news. He said, I think that you've tore your Achilles. I was like, how's that good news? He said, but you don't have to get surgery. He said, it takes the same amount of time to heal by not having surgery as it would be having, if you were to have surgery. He said, since you're not a top level athlete, I don't suggest that you should have the surgery. I was like, what? So this is the doctor though. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, I'm going to refer you to the surgeon and then, can have a conversation. So I go to surgeon. I mean, and it wasn't even soon. It was like a week later. Like I was walking around in the soft cast. Well, not walking around, but I was in the soft cast. And I went to the actual surgeon. And I was telling him, he was like, man, when did this happen? I was like, man, probably like a week and a half ago. And he was like, what hospital did you go to? So I told him the hospital. He said, well, this is a Sunday night. I said, yeah. He was like around like 11:30. I was like, yeah. He's like, that doctor kept calling me and asking me questions. He was like, he just kept asking me questions. He would come back with something new and he would ask me and he'd go, I was like, yeah, that was him. He was like, what did he tell you? He said, he told me I didn't have to have surgery. He's like, man, that guy's an idiot. He was like, yeah, you need to have surgery. Like, oh man, it's terrible. So I had the surgery. And I found out interesting because I've never really had a major surgery, especially not that type of surgery. So I would have to go to all these doctor's appointments, right? I would go to these doctor appointments. And I would go there and they would always have this question. They would ask me how I was feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. Like I would go in, say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most excruciating, what's your level of pain, right? So they would examine me and say, what's your level of pain? So I give them a number. Then they would start doing stuff to my leg. But they wouldn't ask me for a new number. And I used to be like, excuse me, I need to update my number. That number I gave you is no longer valid. We need to ratchet that up a bit, Doc.